The payment of tithing is fire insurance. Nonetheless, the word of the Lord is clear that those who do not keep the commandments and observe the laws of God shall be burned at the time of his coming.
Now, to each member of the church I say, keep on the covenant path. Our Savior and Redeemer Jesus Christ will perform some of his mightiest works between now and when he comes again. In coming days, we will see the greatest manifestations of the Savior's power that the world has ever seen. Between now and the time he returns with power and great glory,
Travis want to get on. So, since I created a new thumbnail picture, we'll use it. And it's a takeoff of the law of Mormon sacrifice of intelligence, love, and life to cover up lies and crimes of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, non-Trinitarian, not to be confused with Trinitarian. Not to be confused with the learning of the Jews, which they too replaced. And so the forgotten man, I reported him for his extreme verbal abuse in his first comment on the Tad Callister using fallacy to defend the church. And they refused to punish him as YouTube punishes people. And so they then incited him to come back and attack me. Because this is what trolls do. They're bullies. And so they're stupid because they use fallacy arguments. This forgotten man has no clue and didn't even bother to look it up. I put it in the link of the tab video. List of fallacies, so that he can make sure that he argues correctly to soundly defend the church. Right, Mormon apologists? Do you use that list of fallacies to defend the church, or do you still call it the golden plates? Do you still think there are cows in America? Because you want the church to be true, replacing the Jews. And so he's not even talking about anything of Chad or Tad. He's veering me off into a rabbit hole. This is what they do. It's hilarious. The church is going to murder you, forgotten man. And you're wanting to take me down a rabbit hole to prove the church is true. They're going to murder you. You're going to burn. Isn't that fun? And so, yeah, he does further ad hominem attacks. He thinks he owns me with a fallacy argument. And he's still obsessed with my brother. This is hilarious. He goes on to say, you then use your brother as an excuse to explain why you're right, but then when you act upset that your brother was allegedly wronged when, in fact, he tried to swindle money from the church through a lawsuit? What? What? No, the church swindled him. Dumbass. He's not even listening to me. He cannot comprehend what he hears. This guy is real illiterate. And thus the extreme hatred, and thus the extreme threats of violence. With denialism. Dear God, I didn't realize he's that illiterate. Is that what they teach you in Utah? To be illiterate? Is he part of the pass-fail generation? Because we don't want to test anybody because they might have their feelings hurt. They might get stressed taking tests. All that memorization and inability to use associative learning so that you can pass your test with flying colors and then forget about it. And buy reference books so that you no longer have to ever memorize again or use associative memory. And so, yeah, this guy is just dumb. Dear God. But yeah, the church loves, as well as criminal organizations and authoritarian dictators, love these kinds of guys because they'll murder for them. So yeah, dear God. The church threatened my brother to silence me. He went through YouTube first, not me, YouTube. I presented YouTube with the facts. My brother's a social media star. He's got websites. He's a known figure because of this. And I'm willing to bet he hasn't taken it down. He didn't the last time I checked. And so I can talk about him as it relates to the topic of my videos with the church. Because he works for the church. It says so. Google wants to be a baby about being sued. Take it out on the customers rather than on the people that are suing them. You're not going to solve your problems by attacking the wrong people. Please tell me you're not going to make me sign in. That's going to be the theme song in the description below, just in case you're wondering. And probably the newest remix of it. Oh, isn't that nice? You're saving baby seals. Good for you. All right, Todd. Yep, still up here. Researcher at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Salt Lake City, Utah. Yeah, no, it's not that guy. Apparently there's another Todd Goodsell who's a career advisor at BYU Law School. Oh my God. Apparently his full name is Todd H. Goodsell. Apparently there's another me out down in Provo too. I guess he's a volleyball coach of women's volleyball. Which, yeah, that would be an awesome job. I would love to have that. I chose mission over the Olympics though. But say la vie. And so yeah, there he is. And so the reason why I know that the church threatened him was because he had to hire a lawyer. Because YouTube didn't do it. They're not supposed to do it. And so, yeah, he never comes to me until after YouTube failed. He then came to me and said, "You're being mean." I've got the email still. I'm not going to show it to you. That's what this guy is wanting to push me to do, is to show you the evidence, to show you the lawyer, the law firm, to show you my brother's letter, to show you, present the evidence, I won't believe otherwise, bleep you. My brother's an ass. I know it. I was in the family. I'm the oldest. I know all about them. You know, I don't believe you exist. Forgotten man, I can't find your name anywhere. I don't believe you're real. Prove it. Prove you're real. Show your social security number and your bank account information and your login passwords and stuff. Show it. Prove it. Prove you're real. Dumbass. So, yeah, I think I might have responded by saying, you already failed with YouTube. And so I did a video apologizing that I got the information wrong about what he does at the church. That's what I corrected it. When I catch myself in a lie, I correct it because it's not intended to be a lie. I was misinformed and I had to correct it. So I corrected what he does for the church. It wasn't good enough. I get contacted through email by a legal firm. And because the legal firm did not go through with it, I will not reveal that popular Mormon name of the law firm that my brother hired. You have to hire them. They aren't going to do any work unless you pay them up front. I explained that in the video. He didn't care to bother to listen. He doesn't care. He wants me to give you my bank information and my social security number so that I can prove. You're wanting to see my birth certificate? Berkeley is not a true state in the Union. Those hippies. Wait a minute, isn't YouTube from San Francisco? And so, yeah, this guy is just... YouTube, you are failing so miserably. And so, again, let's go over the threat of the church to you. Doesn't matter if you've left the church. You are now the enemy. You have not given loyalty to the church and you left. See, leaving the church is not enough. The church is going to punish you. That's what they do. Anybody who goes up against the church and betrays them get punished. They're poisoned. They get falsely accused of child porn. Which, an anonymous tip? By who, Microsoft? Maybe a hacker who put it there? God. And so, yeah, I've got the receipts. I've shown you the documents. That's what this dumbass refuses to do. I've already done the videos. I've already presented the documents. I've already presented the evidence and the financial receipts. And with Hinckley, it's all known to Mormons already. We already know it. We have to pay tithing. We have tithing settlement that Nelson changed the name of. We have to declare we are full tithe payers. If we are not declared full tithe payers, when it's time to renew our temple recommend, or in the case of Lester the child molester Nielsen, my bishop in West Valley, he wanted to take away my temple recommend prematurely over tithing. He was trying to push it. And so, yes, bishops are the muscle men. of a crime organization. You know, The Sopranos. Well, you don't watch The Sopranos because the church says that R-rated movies or anything on Showtime and HBO are evil? Because they reveal how the church runs and operates? It's exactly the same, except Tony Soprano was a trash collector rather than a religious leader. There's the Righteous Gems or something like that. It's a religious family, evangelical family. And goes over their life and their scandals and crimes and problems of being a televangelist. The Righteous Gemstones. That's it. That one's hilarious. I don't know if COVID sort of ruined season 2, I guess. I don't know. But that's the church. They force you to pay tithing and claim it's protection from the day that shall burn as an oven, when Jesus Christ comes a second time, because he failed in the Roman period time, so he gets a second chance. Second chance Jesus. Do-over Jesus. And to save the righteous from being burned with his presence. I'm sure it's his presence and not a bomb. And you hear about the Heaven's Gate cult guy, you hear about Jim Jones and other cult leaders who are murdering their people, you hear about the Catholics and the Spanish Inquisition and the Salem witch trials by Christians and Muhammad going on a purge murder spree to convert people or die and then put a mosque over the top of the ruins. And NCIS, they go back and forth as to whether Islamists are terrorists or they misinterpret the Quran. The Quran was founded by Muhammad. And so what did Muhammad do? He went on a military coup of all tribal villages. Just did a purge, scorched earth policy. That was his interpretation of the Quran. And so why are people trying to say that the Quran means something else of peace and an internal thing? Because it does, too. But there's a reason why fundamentalists are the way they are. They're reenacting Muhammad. He believed he was the man like Moses of the Jews. What? And so the church, Hinckley, takes it to a whole new level. And this is all origin of Brigham Young. When Joseph Smith was assassinated by Willard Richards, dumped out the window, came back and shot Hiram a second time in the eye right here. Caused the blood stain on the floor. Evidence. Oh, it's not real. It's not real. Evidence. We need real evidence. Like spiritual witness is real evidence. Dumbass. Oh my God. He started the tithing racket. Section 119 is a forged document. It is not by Joseph Smith. It did not exist in 1838 when Brigham Young cooed the church. The Mormon War that framed Joseph and got him locked up in Liberty Jail. Who was running the church? Oh, Brigham did. Because the Danites of Brigham Young chased out Thomas B. Marsh, and Brigham Young rose to the king of the world. But Joseph came back. He got out. That's why they murdered him. Because he wouldn't stay down. That's what they do. They threaten you with incarceration. And if you continue, they will murder you. Hello? That's what they've been doing to me. They haven't changed their tactics. And I've shown you the receipt to Nancy B. Cone. She was the first assassin, other than the other church leaders, but that was the main one that started it all off in 2008. I've got that receipt. They tried to cover it up after I reported it in the federal court. Didn't exist, not real. Prove it. That's what they do. They cover up and hide to get away with murder, to get away with crime. And so, yes, the temple covenants, also by Brigham Young, not Joseph. What the hell is wrong with you? You hear these journal entries by Danites, and you think, oh, wow, Joseph was really that bad and criminal? Oh, that's horrible. Women taken hostage, threatened with murder, and you think, well, they've got to be telling the truth because they wrote it in their journal after Brigham Young ordered them to obey or die. They must be telling the truth on that webcam video of the Islamic terrorists with the guns pointed at them as they're bound and beaten and are reading from a script. I'm sure it's real. You just don't get it. And so, yes, Brigham Young was the first threat to the church. He murdered Joseph, extorted Mormons to pay tithing, or you don't get to go to Zion. And so, yes, there are many people who didn't go with Brigham, but his Danites did. And so once he got those into the valley, now he's got you hostage. And so, yes, if you don't pay tithing, now you get murdered. And in this temple, after having compromised you with paying of tithing, you now are forced, under penalty of death. Oh, it didn't happen, Travis. No, when you went in the Los Angeles temple on May 6th, 1989, it wasn't real. It never happened, Travis. You're making it all up. Didn't happen. I still remember it. I got a wedgie from the guy in the initiatory booth, giving me the magic underwear for the first time. It was the two-parter, which had been out for several years, but the old man working in the booth giving me the wedgie was of the old school, that this two-piece was an abomination. It had to be a one-piece that my dad was still wearing. Because of that, he refused to do the two pieces for a long time and was doing the one piece. My mom went to the silky two piece. Nope, fake news, Travis. It was not real. Nope, it didn't happen. Prove it. I demand your social security number and bank account information to prove it. And so, yeah, the laws you have to obey. Hinckley says if you don't obey the laws of God, what are the laws of God? Law of obedience, law of sacrifice, law of the gospel, law of chastity, law of consecration. The 5 laws of God. If you don't obey them, you're gonna be burned. That's what he tells you. That's your evidence. Everybody knows this. I could use that in the theme song in the description below. I don't have one yet, do I? Everybody knows. There we go. From the Justice League movie. Everybody knows. So we won't use Bad Romance then, because I didn't write that down. Although that is a good one too. I could have used it for the previous video about the Judas Prize to murder Mormons. So this is what this Council for National Policy is all about. It's just one of the ways the church is seeking to overthrow the government. Prove it, Travis. Evidence. You got no proof. You can't. No, fake news. That's not a real book. No, he's not real. He wasn't a president of the church. No. Page 290 and 291 is not real. It doesn't exist. It's not real. It's not real. The church is true. They're not gonna murder us. No, Jesus is. Dumbass. Seriously, there is something severely wrong with his mental conditions to be that illiterate and hate that much. He is a threat to society and needs to be locked up. Dear God. Because keep weapons out of him, because he will blow. Man. So yes, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is going to murder you. And they failed on 9/11. That was plan A. Like I said, all these different ways to do it. And Putin, but just in case Putin can't do it, because Putin's impotent, right, Putin? You can't do it? Goes to Xi. Have Xi do it. And indirectly taunting Kim Jong-un to do it. And Saudi Arabia to do it. And Brazil. And this Council for National Policy. They are tied directly to the overthrow of the government. The church directly tied with it. Mark Skousen. It's in there. I posted the link for you. You didn't even look at it, did you? You could download it for your own files, like I did. So I can do pictures for you. No, it's not real. No. And so, yeah, Steve Bannon, not real, not a member. He's listed in there, but it's not real. He didn't overthrow the 2016-11 by Facebook with Putin. Nope, fake news. And no, Roe v. Wade wasn't overturned by the church. Leonard Leo, he's the middleman that tied the billionaires who are bribing the Supreme Court justices. And the DOJ takes down a Democrat senator for bribery and not the Supreme Court justices? What the bleep? Talk about your coup of America. Clear, the DOJ is MAGA. Despite Merrick Garland saying, don't you know my family religions? Bleep you, you're failed. You are the enemy, Merrick Garland. You did not do your job. The Democrats didn't do their job. Biden didn't do his job. They all set us up with MAGA. And so, yes, we're being threatened now. Oh no, government shutdown. What's going to happen if the government shuts down? It's happened lots of times before, but we forget. Tell us again. Oh my God. And the auto workers strike coincidentally happening this year with everybody else's business wanting to go on strike. Hollywood's still on strike. You have to watch my videos now rather than Hollywood movies. Oh, man. Are you not seeing the bigger picture, guys? Everybody knows but Mormons. It's so sad. They're wanting to argue that I'm not real. This is just an AI program. Fake news. Oh, dear God. And so, yeah, plan B, conference weekend. Because guess when the deadline is for the government? The same weekend. Isn't that great? We're all going to die. So, yeah, that's what the church does. They get all different kinds of people involved to be their hitmen. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, Plan D, Plan E, Plan F. And so that when one fails, they've got the others in place. And the church kind of sucks with hiring hitmen. Right, Todd? Right? Oh, dear God. And so, yeah, YouTube is one of them. That's one of their plans. To suppress news. They've suppressed the news, except for 60 Minutes in Australia and Canada. But the local news? No, they will never investigate the church. Never. ABC4 News Utah now does their news stories from the church news. Oh, the church is building a temple in this state, in this country. Isn't that great? The church is true. ABC4 News Utah. Not biased and compromised whatsoever. Nelson had a birthday. Take down the church. That's what Bob Woodward did to Nixon. And he got Trump. He got Trump too. He's a part of that. Not just me. Dear God, guys. There's so much evil in the world. And they're purposely doing that. The guys at the top who are pulling the puppet strings are purposely causing evil to expand. That's one of the signs in the latter days, if you didn't know. The hearts of men shall wax cold. Wax means grow. And so, yeah, the know-it-all man, unknown man, is being played as a puppet. And he's doing his part well. But, yeah, he's pure evil. And they're going to betray you because the devil never supports his own. And that's what you don't get. It expires the end of October, and they tried it this month. And they're now saying, you need to update your payment. We tried to get it early from you, and you don't have it. Yeah, because you're going to steal it from me, bastards. You'll pay it when I want you to be paid.